Welcome back to the 2020 Great Give Radiothon on WNHH-FM, live streamed at newhaveninfant.org, broadcast at 103.5 FM. I'm Paul Bass, your host, along with Alan Appel and Babs Rawls-Ivy. We're spending time with people of some of the great nonprofits in New Haven, as almost 400 of them are uniting to raise money through the Great Give over 36 hours. These are tough times, pandemic times in New Haven, so we're not holding back. We're going to break a record this year and try to raise $2 million together as a community. Not hard to do. Got to remember the word "the." You go to thegreatgive.org. Thegreatgive.org. Find your favorite organizations to give to. This half hour, we're going to ask you to consider giving to Connecticut Hurricanes, an organization we're going to learn about and find out why they're good to bring your dough to. So I think today we are being joined by David Perch, if I'm saying your name right, and Vinny Catadelli. Did I say your name right, Vinny?
Very good.
All right. Well, welcome to the Great Give Radiothon. So glad you can make it. Before we get down to business, we ask everyone to read a poem or sing a song. What do you guys got?
It's a little combination of both. This is one verse of the Hurricanes core song that we thought was, especially appropriate in this time. And then one day, a storm blew cold. The other chorus said, "Behold," and from the lightning came. They knew it was the Hurricanes.
All right. And you said you had a song too, or that was it?
That was it.
All right. Well, that was good. Now tell us, who are the Connecticut Hurricanes and what do you do?
So we are a drum and bugle corps. We're based out of Seymour, Connecticut. We've been around since the 1930s. We originally started as a fife and drum corps. And then in 1955, after a hurricane came through Connecticut, we reformed as a competitive drum and bugle corps, and we've been operating ever since. We have members that range in age from 14 into their 60s. The majority of our members are probably 14 to 25. And we spend the summer providing performing arts education, music, marching, color guard, and with brass and percussion. And our members perform all throughout the Northeast. I think most people locally probably know us for our performances in all the various parades.
That sounds great. Political scientists have a fancy name for what you do. It's called civic density. The stuff we do together that makes us a community and enrich our lives and other people's lives. 1955 was when the Valley got hit by the big flood. Was that a different event from the hurricane?
I think that is the same event.
Okay. And that's when a lot of people from Ansonia came up to live in New Haven after that. And people still remember that event, 1955, we're now, I'm doing the math, 65 years on, and it's still crucial. And you even mentioned it, development. What do you think it was about that event that switched it from fife and drum and bugles? Is that people weren't playing fifes anymore? More people playing bugles? What was the transition there all about?
Vinny, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'm checking my notes because, obviously the 55, while there are some hurricanes that are still around from that era, me and Dave came around many, many years later. And while we are happy about our history, we are not as well-versed as many of the other alumni that we have through the years.
That's okay. Let's talk about now then. How did you guys, this sounds like it's a real tradition if it's going around since the 1930s. And you guys say that you call yourself Hurricanes. Did you grow up around it? Did you know older people doing it? Did you see them at a parade? When and how did the two of you become Hurricanes?
My sister was a Hurricane before me, the year before me, and this is now the 18th year that I've been a member of the drum corps. And I was in high school when I started. I was 16 years old, and that was it. My sister did it, had the experience of a lifetime, and made all these great friends, became part of a really storied and historic organization. And I said, I want to try that out. So I joined the next year, and I've been doing it ever since. Haven't taken a year off yet.
Were you already playing drums, Vinny?
Oh, I was a brass player. I played trumpet in high school and,
Trumpet.
going up through the elementary school system. So this was just another way to, at the time, to enhance, my performance in marching capabilities beyond what we were doing in high school. This is, an activity that runs for our members every weekend from April through Labor Day weekend. So there are long,
Wow.
hot days out in the sun rehearsing and perfecting our craft. And that was something that I wanted to be a part of when I was, going through my high school years to get better as a performer.
So you play trumpet in the Corps.
I did, amongst a couple
So,
other things, but mainly that.
So many people, when you love playing your instrument growing up, you dedicate to it. Life pulls us away from it. There's a leading question, so get ready. Has this been a way over 16 or I forget if you said 16 or 18 years while you get those degrees behind you on the wall and you got to make a living? Is that a way to keep your chops and stay connected to the music?
It is, the weekend only format of our activity enabled me to work and to pursue education and still do this. That is one of the advantages, but the biggest thing that I got out of the Hurricanes is it kind of pushed me into all the other things I'm doing in my life. It gave me the work ethic and the time management and a lot of the skills I needed in real life to be successful are skills that I was able to develop and hone through my participation with the Hurricanes.
So interesting. And it really is a commitment. If you've done it 16 years, April to Labor Day every weekend, and you're responsible to other people, I can see what you're saying, that this is a molding character and giving chops, and it's real life too.
Yeah.
You have deep friendships from the Corps?
Do we have what?
You have deep friendships in the Hurricanes? Like people
I'm staring right at one of them right now. Me and Dave spend far too much time together. Pre-pandemic, of course, but yes, some of my best friends that I have in my life right now are friends that I made here in the Hurricanes. And we always describe ourselves more as a family than anything else. We work together, we have fun together, we suffer together, but at the end of the day, we're all in the organization trying to achieve the same goal and pass on the experience we had to as many people as we can reach.
Are most of the people in the Valley?
We have a mix of members. I think, we've been based out of various Valley towns over the years, Seymour for a long time, and Ansonia and Derby prior to that. Along with the Valley, we get some of our members from other area high schools throughout the state.
And what do you play in the Hurricanes, David?
I am currently the director, but I play the baritone horn. So I was a brass member this will be my 10th year.
All right. And how did you get involved? What were you in your life? Were you already playing the horn?
I was in a marching band in high school. And after high school, I wanted to continue playing and performing. So this was the next step for me.
All right. So you talked about, and we're talking about the Connecticut Hurricanes. It sounds like it has a great, great tradition going back to the 1930s. And when they talk about change, they're talking about 1955 when they went to drum and bugle from fife and drum. And it sounds like a very meaningful part of people's lives, a very meaningful part of the community. So if anyone wants to help support what political scientists call civic density through the form of the Connecticut Hurricanes, it's an easy way to do it. You go to thegreatgive.org. Don't forget the word thegreatgive.org. You go to Connecticut Hurricanes, and it's right there, and you can support them as we try to get $2 million total over 36 hours for close to 400 groups. So how's COVID hit you guys? You talked Vinny talked about it being like a family and that you also have hard times together. Has anyone been hit by COVID, or is there any way that the ties you make there are strengthening you even while you're isolated during the pandemic?
I think so. We spent some time checking in with our members and having various kind of online meetings to give people a little bit of a sense of community while they're home, which I think is important, to give people a chance to have something normal, even though it's not necessarily what it used to be, but a chance to still see some familiar faces, talk to their friends, and check in on everyone. And our members have seemed really appreciative of that. They seem to really enjoy being able to maintain the connections they can. Unfortunately, our competitive season this year got canceled because of COVID-19, and many of the local events that we typically perform in, all the Memorial Day parades, 4th of July parades, and some various other festivals and public events aren't taking place. So it's a little difficult for us to maintain some of those connections. And one of the things that we're hoping to do is, as things improve, we're looking for performance opportunities so that we can get a chance to still get our membership together this year and have a chance to have some public performances for our fans.
How many members do you have?
Every year we have between 100 and 120 members.
You think it's possible, just thinking out loud, you think it's possible to break up into subgroups of 10 and go to nursing homes and other facilities and perform outside for folks?
I think when something like that becomes allowable, and that might be because we could play outside.
And 10 people can gather, right? Or is it 5 now?
Might be 5.
Oh my God, you don't really get that feeling of what you guys have of 100 people marching up and down with their big, the loud brass and the drums. It might be a little premature to think that way. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a small brass ensemble that sometimes plays around Christmas time in the Quarry Walk Plaza in Oxford. So that might be something that we look into having them do.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I want to thank you guys for telling us about the Connecticut Currency Day. I didn't even know you were around. I'm sure in our Valley Independent Sentinel edition, they know all about you. Hang in there. I think we're going to be back next year, and hopefully our listeners will help you tide over with some financial help. Remember, that's The Great Give, thegreatgive.org. And if you go there, we'd like you this half hour to hit the Connecticut Hurricanes and then help them, guys. Mike, thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks, and
thanks for having us.
Appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for your time.
History. And thanks everyone for joining us today on day 1 of the 2-day Great Give 2020 Radiothon. I want to especially thank Harry Drost, the station manager, the man behind the controls, who's kept us on all the platforms and kept the show going. It's a lot harder than it looks, especially when we're doing it remote and through Zoom and Facebook and other platforms. We're going to be back tomorrow. In the meantime, we're going to read the leaderboard, and it looks like we're at we're getting close to 1.3 million, folks. We're at $1,293,290 for 378 organizations. So hopefully by tomorrow morning, we'll get even closer. I'm Paul Bass, and until tomorrow, stay safe and fly free with us here at WNHH, New Haven's home for community radio.